What's going on, everybody? It's your brother New Breed coming through with another live stream. I want to chop it up with y'all on this journey that I'm on. The topic is planning for the fall of America. That's right. I see brothers and sisters rolling in. Eli Knowledge says, how's it going? I'm doing well. Darren Brown says, you ain't gonna make it, LOL. Somebody, if I have a moderator, get him out of there. He already just joined the stream with folly and madness. Listen, I got a very important subject matter. We're talking about the fall of America. We're talking about planning. Now, a lot of people don't want to hear topics like this because when you hear the word planning, that requires work. That requires effort, energy. A lot of people are complacent. A lot of people enjoy their civil liberties and luxuries of American culture and society. People enjoy leisure. And Malcolm X once said, the future is for those who prepare for it. More often than not, when I speak on these type of topics, people say, well, New Breed, people don't have the money to prepare for what's to come. They say things like, what if we can't afford to prepare for what's to come? Well, my question is, how much does it cost to pay attention? How much does it cost to pay attention? See, every time I talk about planning, strategizing, mobilizing, and preparing, a lot of people fail to hear me very clearly. The things we do today affect tomorrow. When I talk about planning, preparing, does this mean that you got to get everything prepared in one fair swoop? Does it mean that the end of the world is coming tomorrow? Does it mean that Babylon is going to fall tomorrow? No, it doesn't. What it simply means is that you must prepare for your children's children. The Bible says a righteous man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. Now, how could you leave an inheritance if you don't own anything? Homes go into foreclosure. Retirement goes back to the company you worked for. Social Security is cut the moment where you are put in that box. How do you leave an inheritance for your children's children if you don't own anything? So what that means is, if you're working for a society that doesn't give you any wiggle room to own something tangible that you can pass down, that means your walk is flawed. Scripturally, biblically, it means that you're making a mistake of how you conduct your life. That's what it means, ladies and gentlemen, meaning there must be a change that's made, where even if you're working a 9-to-5 job, or you may not be a business owner, you may not be an entrepreneur, you may not be any of these things, but even if you're working a job, are you making sure your job is working for you? Is it working for you? Meaning, are you able to take care of all the things you need, as well as spearhead the things you want out of life, the things you want to do? Are you using your job to push your real agenda? Because this is the mind frame that we got to have as God's chosen people. Now, I'm saying a lot right now. I'm dropping a lot of jewels right now. And I can see the chat. Let me see. Let me make sure everybody is. All right, here we go. I had to unfreeze the chat. But are you doing what's necessary to prepare? Now, listen. It starts with the change of your mind. How much does it cost to network with good people? Let me hear that in the chat. Put a dollar amount. Brothers and sisters, I want a dollar amount of how much it costs to network with good people who can see what you see about the future. Armand, you got it right. $0. $0. It costs $0 to network with like-minded people. And we know when the fall of America occurs, there's going to be power in numbers. We know that. We understand that preparedness is the sign of a prudent man. Because what? The Bible says, the prudent man foreseeth trouble and hideth himself. The Bible speaks advocately about preparing for the times. Now, foolish people, mockers, hypocritical, scoffers, and trolls, they don't want to understand this because they're comfortable and they're complacent. They believe that it's doom and gloom to actually prepare, which is insane, if you ask me. Now, I'm going to ask y'all another question. When you go to the grocery store and get groceries for the week, for the month, for the next 2 weeks, are you scared when you go to the grocery store? I want y'all to participate. We are riding, we cruising, we having a good time right now on the road. The question is, are you scared when you go buy your groceries for the next 2 weeks? Or are you purchasing your groceries because you don't want to run out of food and you don't want to have to keep going to the grocery store? Somebody said, yes, every time I check out. Right, because of them prices. Because of them prices, that's a good answer. Every time you check out, you ringing up your groceries and you watching that bank account. I get it. I do get it. But the point that I'm trying to make, hold on real quick, the point I'm trying to make is there's nothing wrong with preparedness. Now, planning doesn't have to happen in a day. Meaning the preparedness doesn't have to happen in a day. You got to keep in mind that it starts with the renewal of your mind. It starts with changing how you think about things. You must change how you think. If all you're doing is putting all your resources into a basket that does not have a bottom to it, you're not following the word of the Most High. If all you're doing is living to maintain and survive, and you don't have nothing you can call your own, you are not following the ways of the scriptures. Even if you have simple things that are tangible, right? But you own these things. I'm not telling you to hoard anything. I'm not telling you any of that, because guess what? The Bible says that when we pass on to the next stage, then moths will corrupt and all our belongings will eventually corrode. It also tells us not to be hoarding things up on this earth, right? But I want you to keep in mind, if you have a family, if you have a legacy, a dynasty you building, there are certain things that you want to leave behind for your children and even your children's children. There's certain things you want to leave behind, even if it's knowledge, even if it's know-how, even if it's survival techniques, even if it's skills and trades that they can take and survive anywhere they go. So when I talk about preparing, there's a lot of variables to what preparing actually is. You got to keep in mind, Rome was not built in a day, but it damn sure fell in a day. So what I'm trying to really get people to understand is the importance of setting something aside for your children, your family, the next generation. Even if you don't have a family, the next generation. When I speak the way I speak about preparing, about the end times, about how America's collapsing, I realize that I can pass on at any moment. Life is not promised. I realize that the next generation is going to be hearing those words. Even if this happens 30, 40, 50, 60 years from now, I know my words will last the test of time. The things that I'm saying will matter 100 years from now. Because what tends to happen is when something doesn't happen immediately, people, they say with themselves, they reason with themselves, and they say things like, surely Christ have delayed his coming. What about all that doomsday stuff that y'all was talking? What happened? Well, Christ ain't came back. These very same people will go back into their old ways, believing that everything was just fugazi. I gotta bust a quick Yui. Let's see here. And it's such a beautiful day to get the work done. Such a beautiful day to get some work done. See, they called Noah crazy. They mocked him. They said, Noah, what you out here building an ark for? And Noah said, look, it's finna rain and the rain ain't gonna stop. And Noah kept his hands to the plow. Years went by. Many, many years went by. And the whole time people was mocking. Why are you over here building this? What are you doing, Noah? All the way to the time it started raining, and it did not stop. And once the rain came and that boat elevated from the flood waters, people were swimming trying to get through the doors, but the water pressure was keeping the doors sealed. And people were trying, and Noah was like, oh no. Even Noah tried to open a door. Now, if somebody's pushing from the inside and the out, eventually that door would open. But guess what the Most High did? The Most High sent angels compassed around those doors so people couldn't get in. And then he sent sharks out of nowhere. Sharks just appeared and just snatched the people up. Now, the moral of this story is Noah had a vision. The Most High gave him the vision. Noah could see. I myself, New Breed Global Truth, also known as Brother Emmanuel, I can see. I can see. The Most High gave me a vision. I've had dreams about what's going to happen here in America. They were so real, it took me out of my sleep in cold sweats. They were so real that when these dreams happened, I began my journey. I had thoughts, ideas. I wanted to challenge the matrix. I had actual interactions with godly beings, angelic beings. And I knew what I had to do. See, I know my purpose. And no matter what, nobody can stop my purpose. Because I know what I'm here. I know what I have been sent here to do. I've been warned. I've been told to tell and warn the people. And I have not deviated from the mission. And I know how real the fall of America is, and I know what needs to be done. Our people are too comfortable in captivity. There was a decree that was sent forth, and it's to break our people out of the matrix. See, Brandon T. Jackson, a person who I built with, he's an actor in Hollywood. Some of y'all heard him or seen him playing Percy Jackson, right? He did an interview on Breakfast Club where he actually mentioned love notes as well, and I got to talk about that later. You know, he talked about love notes. He talked about some things that, you know, a lot of people didn't understand. It kind of went over their head. But he said something very key. He said that he tried to start a community, and he said that there was this hidden thing in the matrix where it's pretty much forbidden for us to come together and build and actually have something we can call our own. And we know that because we've seen what happened to Black Wall Street. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've been chosen to spearhead such an initiative right now in our time. And the Most High has appointed and anointed me to do this work. But it's only for a remnant of people. It's only for a remnant of people who can truly understand what we're doing. Many have tried before. But I know for a fact what I've been sent here to do. I know what my vision was. I know the dreams that I had. I know that UP Farms is going to be successful and there's going to be businesses there. I know that I'm going to own businesses on UP Farms, and I'm going to own businesses in Myrtle Beach. I'm going to have a diner. I've dreamed of the diner, being inside of it. I remember being suited and booted in my dream, coming in and my employees were there. I remember having my RV lot by the beach. I remember major events and performances at UP Farm. I dreamed all of this before it even happened. Y'all don't even understand. I dreamed every last bit of what I'm doing right now. I dreamed every bit of it before I even met the brothers that connected me to UP Farms. I was already having these dreams, and these dreams are documented. I spent some time with my grandmother and told her about these dreams years ago. Years ago. Me and her were just talking about that. She said, everything you're doing right now is what you dreamed years ago. Why? Because it's a prophecy on my life. And I know anybody who endures with me, anybody who builds with me, anybody who goes through the clutches with me are going to be blessed, but it's not going to happen immediately. So many people want instant validation. The reciprocity is not going to come until we do the work. If we build it, they shall come. And we are determined to have something for our people. And of course, I'm not going to allow myself to fail. Meaning I'm not going to give my complete soul to doing the work because, and I'm going to tell you why, because I need help. I need help. I cannot build a community on my own. And where a lot of people fail is burnout. I'm not going to burn out. If y'all see me fall back from doing certain things for a time period, that means that I don't have the assistance needed. That means the support is not coming through like it should. Y'all see me fall back and just focus on other things, other endeavors, doesn't mean I've given up on the mission. Look, the mission is going to be complete. I remember there was a preacher, a pastor online who has communities all over the United States. Now, his communities are really considered church communities, and there's a difference. I'm not going to say who this pastor is, but he has church communities. That's not what I'm building here. But I know some years ago he said that UP Farms was going to fail. And I got to respond to that by saying it can't fail because there's no time limit on how long it's going to take to build such greatness. It can't fail. Only way it can fail is if we quit. Other than that, everything is going to be done on the Most High's timing. The only way we fail is if we quit. Now, we're not under any 501c3s or church organizations or anything like that. We're not doing no crowdfunding. We're doing this grassroots. Never before in YouTube have you seen what is being done over here. The way we're doing it. We're going to have us an RV lot. We're going to have us a yurt community, a mini home community. This is going to be an amazing place to visit and build with like-minded people and get the nurturance and counsel that a lot of us so much needed, right? I mean, just look how peaceful this ride is. Can you feel it? It's like I gotta take y'all along this journey with me because it's so peaceful out here. Are we planning for the fall of America? Absolutely. Are we scared? No. If you're scared, take your ass to church. Because the preachers are not going to tell you anything. They're not going to tell you to prepare for the mark of the beast. They're not going to tell you to prepare for the food shortages. They're not going to tell you to prepare for the urban mobility in 15-minute smart cities. They're not going to tell you. Because I'm going to tell you this right now. When the food trucks stop running, when all hell breaks loose and the grid is down, we are not going to care. We're not going to care. Why? Because our families will be tucked away somewhere safe and secluded with our own gardens, our own livestock, our own food. We're going to have our own entertainment. We're going to have our own stores. We're even going to have our own money. And it's going to be predicated on love. We're going to have our own love notes, our own system, our own barter trading system. We're going to have our own supplies. We're going to have our own security and police. And we're going to be doing like the Amish do. Why is it not a problem when the Amish do what we doing? Why am I looked at like I'm crazy, or I'm a part of a cult, or I started a cult, or however the hell y'all want to think of it, because I want to live like the Amish? Don't I have the right? Don't I have the right to want to be around like-minded people when we are in austerity measures in America? I can't trust my neighbors. I can't. How many of you all can trust your neighbors? If something were to go down, they're going to look out for you. Or is it going to be like the scene from Leave the World Behind, when homeboy was like, let me in, bro, let me in. Yo, we need help, hey. And dude came to the jump with an AK. And he said, man, what are you doing? We're friends. He said, no, we were friends. He said, no, we were friends until all this shit happened. We were friends. That's what he said. But he's right. Because if I let you in this house, you're going to try to take my supplies. If I let you in this house, you're going to take the things that I was preparing for, because dude was prepared. That's the crazy part. Dude was prepared. He had everything. Look, I got everything I need in here. And everybody on the outside, y'all are enemies at this point, because when chaos strikes, you don't know what people are going to do. But if you got a food bank, if you got people who are putting their resources together, sharing among each other, then y'all good, because they're following the Most High. And I'm going to tell you, you know, the irony of what I'm talking about, it actually already happened. We got a microcosm of that. The off-grid camping retreat we did, the grid got shut down on that day. Literally, the grid got shut down. And we got to see everybody sharing. Everybody brought something. It's like everybody brought something. What one person didn't have, the next person had. And we got to see exactly how it's going to be. And a lot of people, a lot of mockers and scoffers was saying, look, see, that's the Most High trying to stop it. The grid got shut down. It affected certain people's travel, X, Y, and Z. No, the Most High was showing us a microcosm of what's to come. And what people fail to realize, every time something like that occurs, we're pushing even more. That's the Most High communicating with us. We're not getting discouraged. You're dealing with men who are strong in faith. You're dealing with visionaries. You're dealing with people who know what's to come and are moving accordingly. You're not dealing with these churches who want to charge you an arm and a leg to attend their Passover, where the elders and the deacons is getting on stage like P. Diddy, Harlem shaking, talking about take that, with glitter jackets on, like one of these damn camps. You're not dealing with people who just want to be seen and play religion. We're not doing that over here. You're not dealing with people who just want to play and cosplay. Ain't nothing wrong with your heritage, throwing on the fringes and all of that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But it is something extremely wrong when the churches and camps are increasing in revenue every single year, but they're not building anything but more churches. So the pastors can make more money. So the deacons and elders and them can make more money. You know what the crazy part is? The Israelite camps are more wealthy than the Christian churches. Bet y'all didn't know that. They're more wealthy. Why? Because the Israelite camps are worldwide. They're worldwide. So I want you to understand, Potter House, he might have a whole lot going on. Creflo Dollar might have a whole lot going on. But I just passed the church. They packed. They are packed on a Friday morning. Maybe it's a funeral. They may have a lot going on, but these Israelite camps got churches all over the world, in each state, in various countries. Oh, they eat. And these are the same ones telling us Babylon is falling, but they ain't bought 30 acres of land, 40, 50, 60 acres, and plant any garden. Where the gardens at? I said, where the gardens at? You had one pastor in Atlanta, Jamal Bryant. Only thing he wanted to do is he wanted to plant some marijuana fields. The hell is up with that? No corn, no sweet potatoes, nothing. No tobacco, not even some damn cotton, nothing. He want weed. So it's like I gotta hold up. Look at that, look at that. See that? Look at the cows. Look, she taking a bath. See, you only get this on them country roads. Cows out here taking baths and everything. Look. Look at the buffaloes and the horses. You know, when I come out here, my whole accent changed. My whole accent changed when I come out here on these country roads, boy. I tell you. All I need right now is a nice cold nigga load. But in all seriousness, what the hell is these churches doing? What the hell are they doing? Yeah, I need me a nice hot shot of moonshine. Some moonshine and some turkey jerky. But I'm telling y'all right now, man, it's something extremely wrong with these religious folks. I don't get it. All they want to do is debate over scriptures all day. Don't nobody want to build nothing. Don't nobody want to do nothing. That's why I separated from the Israelite community. I want y'all to imagine this. I went to Africa. I met up with the president I met up with the tribal community. I came back to America. I got the damn CIA following me everywhere. I'm getting followed by everybody. Yeah, that deer jerky, that's right. I come back, I'm getting watched by Secret Service because I'm meeting up with presidents and world leaders. And I come back and I'm like, yo, hey, I just put my life on the line. Dear Israelite community, New Breed Global Truth. I just went down Africa. Look, they got a whole lot of land they trying to give us. Look, all these camps, y'all talking about America, Babylon is falling. Look, all these camps, look, I'm telling y'all right now, there's room for everybody. We can all go there and be free, and we can all be leaders in government. What y'all trying to do? What y'all trying to do? We can be leaders in government. We can have positions of political power. We can have our own land. We can dictate a whole lot of things that take place in the country. What y'all want to do? They was like, nah, we don't want nothing to do with that. You good, Bree. We good on that. We love America. We love America. I said, okay, damn. I tried something. All right, let me try this. Let's build on our own. Let's build in America then. Okay, let's build in America. Since going to Africa and doing what I did, y'all don't want to do that. Okay. And I looked at it like this: if we can't build in our own land, or if we can't build in the land that we've been in captive of, then we definitely can't go to another country and start from scratch. There's no way. So now we're here in America with over 110 acres. And the Israelite community still didn't want to do nothing. So I started to reach out to those who call themselves Pan-Africans and Nuwabi, all that, because I'm just saying, who's really in the truth? Come to find out, they just despair merchants too. They want to talk about how black we are. We black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blackity black, and I'm black, y'all, and black power, and higher consciousness, but y'all ain't doing nothing. Where the gardens at? Where the land at? Where the fruits and vegetables? Where the livestock for our people? Where's the resources? Where's the commodities? Where's the things that we can trade and leverage in case of a catastrophe? You got to have something you can trade and leverage. See, my whole life changed when I went to Africa, because I knew it wasn't no turning back once I got to sit around at the round table and help with executive orders and actually see what it's like to run a country. My whole life changed when I seen what it was like. It changed me because I realized that Liberia may be a third world country, but they got more than we got. They got more than we got because they own their third world country. They can dictate the laws. Although just like any other country, it's a lot of corruption. So you just got to weed out the bad. But with the right leadership, it can happen. And it will happen. But they got more than we got, because even though they don't have much, they own it. It's theirs. We ain't got nothing. We don't own nothing. And it changed me being able to see what it takes to run a country. And I realized that we don't have no type of say-so in America. We are literally in bondage. We don't have any kind of, let's see, man, something. I'm gonna have to go around this thing. Yep. There was one political leader that brought his son in the room while we were having a conversation. And yeah, somebody said it. We all we got. For real, we all we got. There was one political leader that brought his son He sat around a round table. The little boy had to be like 8, 9 years old. He knew everything about running a country. He was educated. He was well spoken. He knew that needed to be done. And I was amazed by that, because our sons are supposed to be knowing the same thing. Just seeing how those in Africa are conversationalists. People are not just watching TV all day. They're not just being entertained all day. Their entertainment is each other. So heavy conversation is had out there. Africa is the origin of all world religions. So what that means is you're gonna be having deep spiritual, intellectual conversation. And it is a lost art. That's right, Latrell, it's a lost art to have genuine, real conversation. And so when I talk about preparing and planning for the fall of Babylon, man, there's so many layers to it. Don't allow your sons to be lazy like we were. Don't allow them, and I'm not saying we're lazy as far as our work ethic. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about lazy with our thought process, thinking outside the box. Because sometimes it's not about how hard you work, it's just how you work. What you work for. And we got to be open-minded enough to broaden our horizons and do something different. Look at the buffaloes. Big guys. Them the big guys right there. Hey, yo. Somebody said common sense was before a book. Let's go with that narrative. Common sense should have us out here building something. When you're looking at 148,000 less farms in America in the last 3 years, 140 something thousand. And now with this mass deportation and most of the workers being illegal immigrants, you're going to see even more farms shut down. Because listen, Americans not fitting to do the work they doing. Americans is not fitting to work the way that our Hispanic counterparts are working to keep the gardens going, to keep the farms going. I'm telling you. What a beautiful day. So I'm going out here getting some work done, man. Somebody said, do you mind if I share a word on TikTok? No, I want you to share everywhere. Everywhere you can share this material, share it. You know what I'm saying? This is what it's all about. It's like one thing that we lack is support. When people stick their necks out on the line to do this type of work, you got to support it, man. Yesterday, I put my cash out there. I ain't really getting much support. And, you know, it is what it is. The Most High is making a way for me to be able to do everything I need to do. But at the same time, I could do so much more if the people would just support what I'm doing. Like with such an initiative that we're working on, I shouldn't have to worry about nothing. But the Israelite community does not, and I'm not trying to shame y'all or anything like that, but we don't support enough. We don't share enough. We don't push the agenda enough. But I guarantee if something was to take place and we were to leave the land open, people is pulling up. People who never donated, people who never supported, people who didn't help us do anything. They're going to try to pull up. And you're going to want water out of that well. You're going to want some livestock. You're going to want some vegetation. But you don't want to support. You don't want to support the key players who are doing the work. I'm telling you, this work is it's difficult. It's difficult because you're going to get criticized by your own people for trying to do something right. You're going to get pretty much banished from the system when you're trying to do something right. You're going to take losses. But guess what? It all pays off at the end if you're truly being led by the Most High. Let me tell y'all something. This is not something I just decided to do. This is not something that I just woke up and decided to do, and I'm trying to force something that I ain't supposed to be doing. No, the Most High made me do what I'm doing. I have no choice but to build this community. I have no choice but to unify people. The Most High wants me to bring people together, but the right people. That's why I talk so much about being isolated and separated, because in order to get around the right people, you must first do what? Get away from the wrong people. But a lot of people don't understand my talking points. They're not meant to understand. If I'm talking about being solo, not trusting people, it's because I realize that a lot of us are in highly concentrated areas, and a lot of people are spiritually defiled and mentally dilapidated. And you're living amongst zombies, you up in these inner cities. People who don't really want nothing but drama. And I'm not saying everybody in the city is that way. And I'm not saying you can't be blessed in the city as well as being blessed in the field. But at the same time, the cities are going through a transformation. And for those who enjoy peace, those who can operate at a higher function in peace, they're going to choose the country over the city. They're going to choose the country. Look, I'm not here to convince nobody nothing. And when somebody is blessed, they can be blessed wherever they go. There's some people, when they leave certain places, those places are going to be cursed. But there's going to come a time where those who have the like mind, they're going to want to get out of those places. Yeah, people who rather be in the country, more than likely, are more peaceful people. There are people who don't want to be involved in no drama, want to stay away from the filth, the mess. Man, what a beautiful ride. And we almost got 200 in the building, but everybody got to get the likes up. Y'all going to be seeing me stream live a lot from this platform as well as the other one, but you know, y'all know how the game goes. That's a nice rig right there. That's a lawnmower right there. Man, I'm telling you. Yeah, are we planning for the fall of America? You absolutely right. Are we scared? Hell no. If you scared, go to church. Yeah, it's a better air, better atmosphere. Yes. Yeah, get the thumbs up on the video. Let's get it. I'm letting y'all travel with me. I'm telling you, it's a lot of mockers out here, man. Let them mock, let them troll, let them scoff. When we start doing more events, there's going to be people who shame some of y'all. Y'all going to be coming out here, you know, and it's going to be people that say, well, yo, what y'all doing? Y'all going to join a cult? What's going on? They're going to say all kind of crazy things, right? You got to ignore that. Our last event, we had people come from all over the United States. near and far. People coming from all the way from Arizona. Just people came out and they really enjoyed themselves. They really enjoyed themselves. And we let people come because one thing we learned about this whole situation is the haters, trolls, scoffers, they only can come to the land pretty much one time, and then their spirit is going to reject the piece of it. Their spirit is not going to allow them back. And one thing about it, you can't start wars in a peaceful place. It's an impossibility. You can't start wars in a peaceful place. They're not allowed to come back. Their spirit don't resonate. It's one of them things. Either your spirit resonate or it don't. See the vision or you don't. You got people who clout chased, aligned themselves with what we're doing, but they never really was with us. And you're gonna have more people do that. Listen, let me tell y'all something. You're gonna have people, more social media people, who are gonna come and they're gonna do the same thing that we've seen before. They're gonna come out and they're gonna flip flop. Why? Because we're doing something great, and people just want to align themselves with real activity to make it seem like they're really about the work. Because when you come out here, you're gonna be working. There's work to do, but they want to be seen. They want to be acknowledged by men. They're not doing these things out of their heart. They're not doing it. They're not doing it for the love of the Most High. They're not doing it for the people. They're not doing it understanding that what we're doing is going to be a necessity for our people. They're doing things to get clout. And when you're motivated by the wrong thing, then it's going to truly come out. Yeah, there's a lot of buffaloes out here. Because listen, the Bible says if they was with us, they stayed with us. But people want to seem like they're actual philanthropists. They want to seem like they actually are for the people. And they're not. They're for themselves. And there's nothing wrong with taking care of yourself, your family, and worrying about what's important. Making some money. Make money. Do what you need to do. We want you to take care of yourself and yours. But not at the behest or the expense of other people in truth. That's a no-no. Because one thing about it, we're going to do this work regardless. New breed, lyrically. What does that mean? Somebody says, I'm going to start back. I have been trying to get everything together. Right. We don't do nothing out of haste or out of fear. But we do realize the importance of planning. And anybody with logic should understand that. Let me see here. Let's bust this turn right here. Skirt. Yeah, somebody said logic is key. I agree. And I'm really not too far from my destination. I'm gonna chop it up with y'all for like 10 more minutes. Then I'm gonna be pulling up to where I need to pull up. I got my work cut out for me today. Somebody said you're a great driver. Thank you, man. I've never been in a car accident where I was at fault. Ever. The only car accidents I got in was when I got rear-ended. And I believe there were gang stalkers doing that. I'm talking about at the red light, car just come and just rear-end. That'd be the worst, man. Look at all this open land. Look at all the space and opportunity. That's all this is space and opportunity. But they trying to make it seem like the world is overcrowded. And you got all these eugenicists wanting to depopulate. Why is it that every man don't have his own house? Why every man don't got 40 acres? It's enough land. It's enough land where every man can have 40 acres for them and their families. But you got Bill Gates and Elon and all of these folks buying up all the land. Somebody said, no disrespect, I was rapping while drunk. Man, it's like 10 in the morning. What the hell? It's 11:30 in the morning. What you talking about? Somebody said the land is so flat there. Being from Colorado, that's new to me. There's no mountains out there, right? And you know what's interesting? The next land walk I do is gonna be in the mountains. That's crazy. Out there in Washington State, there's gonna be a land walk that I'm gonna be doing, and another piece of land for our people. In due time, though, in due time. But of course, I'm linking up with the brothers out here. Anytime we got to come together and do some work, all it is a phone call. And then most of the time when we do this, it'd be more than who we expect. It'd be like 10, 20 brothers pulling up. We don't even be expecting it, bro. It's just a beautiful thing, man. Yeah, Angus said it's good hiking around there. That's what's up. Yeah, I gotta go to like Home Depot. Actually, I think I gotta go to Lowe's. Grab some industrial materials that I need. Yep, somebody say you build it, they will come. Meet up with the brothers. Go out here. We're gonna have a long work day. Tomorrow work day is gonna be longer, but you know what I'm saying, basic 9-10 hour shift. Get some things done on the land. Says I've been practicing my firearms training, been having a lot of fun learning new things. That's what's up. That is what's up. Yeah, we let off some rounds out there on the land, man. I brought my AK, not my AK, I brought my AR-12 out there. That thing was chopping trees down, bro. I brung that joint out there, let off some rounds. Me, I try not to do too much because ammo is expensive these days, man. Ammo is extremely expensive. I like to stock up on ammo. I don't play them games. Yeah, it's beautiful out here. It's a beautiful day. I'm glad that it's warming up a little bit. It's going to be clear skies all weekend. Stephanie says, I hope you have a blessed day, New Breed. This is beautiful. Get it in. Absolutely. But anyway, man, I'm almost at my destination. I'm gonna enjoy these last few minutes, just, kind of soaking in the atmosphere. And I'm gonna be giving y'all some updates later. Y'all gonna be getting some updates on, some of the work being done, as well as brothers in truth just chopping it up, man. Some real conversation pieces. Anyway, one love to y'all. Y'all be blessed out here. Shalom and peace.